Hello. Well, my head gets big when I zoom in. Yeah, so I think my son had like an epiphany or a sharing of thoughts as me because I was going to do midnight thoughts tonight um, on a lot of things. First of all, Thanksgiving's in 2 days, and even though I'm not doing anything on Thursday per se, I know Caleb's coming over Thursday. Um, I'm just thankful for a lot of things, man. Like there's a lot of stuff going on, um, which I'll get into in a little bit. But it's gonna be a joyous time and a rough time for my family as well because the uh, the joyous time is the fact that we're doing Thanksgiving Friday, my mom's house. The six of us, my mom and Steve. I don't know if Tana and Wes are coming or not, but we'll at least have eight of us. Um, so I'm thankful. As every year that I get older, I appreciate my family more and more. Um, when I was a kid, I didn't really that much because I was always busy with friends. Like I had so many friends in marching band that man, like on the weekend, I literally some weekends had like a 30-person list to call to play like volleyball or basketball or whatever, um, either at the Y or outside or the basketball courts or whatever. Hockey. I mean, we had guys from all over the county. People would drive a half hour to play with us, so it was pretty cool. But I digress a little bit. My focus has shifted as I've gotten older. I'm obviously a dad now. Uh, I never wanted kids before I had kids. And that's funny for me to say now because my kids are like my absolute life. Like the highlight of my week. It's when I feel complete, honestly, is when my kids are around me. I just feel at peace. I feel like myself. I feel like I have a purpose. Um, so I'm thankful for my family. I'm especially thankful for my kids. My girlfriend, who has put up with a lot of shit for me that, she won't see this video, so I can go ahead and say that. But no, I'm not an easy person to live with. I'm not an easy person to be in a relationship with, and I know that. I don't know that every day, but, um, because I have a pretty high self opinion myself. But anyway, I want to get into my thoughts on stuff. You know, um, this weekend we've got a recital for Olivia Sunday that I think only me and Renee are going to out of the people that live here. Um, my mom's probably coming, just her dance recital thing. And then Thursday night of next week, um, we've got O's Christmas performance. And it got me thinking today, like, how quickly things change in a year. I mean, a year ago, in a week, was the last time that I saw Barry healthy. Barry was my stepdad. Um, and I'm going to be 100% truthful on here. I was not Barry's biggest fan. Like, the guy was kind of awkward and quirky and not as funny as he thought he was, maybe not as smart as he thought he was. But the one thing that always made me happy was that he treated my mom like absolute gold. I mean, I don't think I've ever treated somebody that nicely. So I always respected him for that. Um, he always took care of my mom, and he knew he was human. He knew he had faults. And he knew that there was, on some occasions, he had taken advantage of her because my mom will just go behind you and clean after you and do this and that. I mean, she's a giver. And he would openly admit, he's like, I sometimes I get lazy. She cleans the house, I'll help her out, whatever. But he was definitely a stand-up guy. Um, we left that Christmas performance, and we were getting in the cars, and the last thing that he ever said to us was "Love you guys," and I felt really bad because I didn't say "Love you" back. I just said I didn't really say anything. I was getting in the car. They were a few cars down, and I'm just like, I'll tell him next time. We'll see him soon. Christmas is coming up. Um, the guy just retired, so he was going to be around a lot. And, you know, even in the month that my mom and him lived near us, she was already starting to drive me crazy with as much as they wanted to come over and stuff out of the blue with like no notice and stuff. So I was like, yeah, we'll see him soon enough. Um, Fast forward maybe a week after that, and Barry had a stroke out of nowhere. Like, he had a headache for a couple days, and then the dude just stroked out, went to the hospital. I mean, it was a massive seizure stroke. 2:30 in the morning. Um, my mom's blowing up my phone, and I usually sleep with my phone on silence, so I didn't get it till 5:30 in the morning when I woke up to use the bathroom. And then I'm freaking out because he's in the hospital and everything. And then we get mixed reports for the next week or two. Giving my mom a lot of hope, not giving my mom a lot of hope. They thought at first that he had like a day to live, so his family's driving from all over the place to see him. Um, the dude gets a vent put in, and then he's got his hands tied to the bed, which I'm honestly kind of happy that my kids didn't see him like that because I still have that image in my head, and it's not a good image. But he got better a little bit, and they did physical therapy, and they transferred him to hospitals, and everything looked to be on the up and up. And then one day later, the guy just has a heart attack and dies. Christmas Eve day. So these holidays are a lot of mixed emotions because there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, we have Thanksgiving Friday at my mom's, which I'm excited about. O's gonna go home and do stuff with her mom that night. We're gonna play the ultimate game with 5 of us, which may be a mixed blessing because I don't know if O would have fully enjoyed the game or not. She gets embarrassed easily, so I don't know if she'd do a lot of the dares anyway, but it should be a unique, fun game. I try to combine like 5 different games into one, and I like to make games as a kid, so I hope everybody has fun. I think they will, and there's no set way that the game's going to end, and you could actually have somebody that's about to win the game and then someone else wins the game, which is kind of cool. So I like the unpredictability of it. Um, and I think it's just going to be fun in general. There's a lot of crazy, weird, fun stuff to do in that game. But, looking forward to Christmas. It's like we don't have a lot of money right now. I've got a potential good job lead right now, but I'm pretty sure by the end of the week I'm not going to know 100% one way or the other because it's Thanksgiving week. So I don't know when that's going to happen. If I do get the job, that's going to be a blessing from God, man. Like insane money for me, honestly. For us, for our family, that's the most important thing, and to ease stress on my girlfriend and fix Christmas because right now we just don't have the money for Christmas. Um, so there's a lot of stress with Christmas, but thinking of Barry passing away on Christmas Eve is sad. And then, just thinking a year later we're spending it with another dude that my mom's with is kind of weird to me and my kids, honestly. But you play the cards that you're dealt. So that's one thing that I want to kind of talk about and get off my chest. The next thing just happened, and I know that Caleb posted a video on it, and I was going to say something about it. First half of his video tonight was about suicide. He had a buddy of his that took his own life. It was only an eighth grader, man. Like, it's crazy to think about. I had I had a lot of suicidal thoughts in middle school myself. I absolutely hated middle school, man. Like, I got bullied a lot. I There wasn't many girls that liked me because I sweat really bad in middle school and I couldn't find any deodorant that could get me to stop smelling or sweating. So I was like a wet, smelly mess all through middle school. I showered every day, but it didn't matter. I was in sports, but I finally made like the B team in eighth grade, which is like JV. Didn't make the varsity team, which a lot of people thought I would. I didn't think I would because I knew I wasn't that good in basketball, but I was good. I wasn't great. You know what I mean? Um, so I was happy as hell to get out of middle school. I remember sitting in my room listening to the radio, um, just thinking about how everything sucked. And then, something happened in my life to turn it around, and that was when I joined the church. Um, I went through Sunday school and what some people call catechism. We just called it confirmation, I believe. You go through this class and you have homework to do and Bible study every week, and I took it very seriously, and I looked forward every Sunday to go into that because it was with classmates, guys that I knew from school. Nobody was mean to you at church because you're not mean to church. So that was the one thing that I actually had going for me in seventh and eighth grade. I looked forward to that because it was so positive. It was 100% positive. Like I even enjoyed doing the homework. Looking up stuff in the Bible, doing deeper research into that. Really enjoyed it. Really felt like I belonged there. Had a couple good friends in that group with me that we had a lot of fun and stuff that I knew through sports and stuff like that, and that I grew up with. So that was a lot of fun. Um, but the suicide topic really hits home with me because I've known a couple people that have taken their own life, and there was a time where my dad kept threatening that for many years when things happened after his brain injury. And we finally had to reach a point where we're just like, if you're gonna do it, do it. I mean, you can't threaten to kill yourself for years and expect everybody to do everything you want the second you want it, which is what my dad did. It's like when him and my mom were splitting up, it's like, Bunny, you need to do this right now. You need to come back to me right now, or I'm going to kill myself right now. Or you have 2 hours to get here, or I'm going to kill myself. That's not cool, man. That's like, you got to take responsibility for your own life. Now I understand my son's friend had a lot of issues. And I don't want to say I understand why he killed himself, but I understand the reason why he thought he needed to do that. The problem is, when I joined the church, it's a lot of people are lost in this life because we get wrapped up in so many things that don't matter. We care about our clothes, what clothes we wear. We care about what people think of us. We care about what house we live in. We care about, uh, some people care about how much food they eat, the quality of food, how good of a cook they are. Um, when tragedy happens, nobody cares about that. They don't care what job you had when you die. They don't care about what kind of car you drove when you die. They don't remember that. They remember the memories. Um, I had a cousin that took his own life when he went to college. The guy was a good friend of mine growing up. He was like a second cousin of mine. He lived a couple blocks away from me. He was a grade above me, but we played on the same intramural basketball team because it was like seventh, eighth grade. And the guy was so mellow and so cool to everybody. He was in the in crowd, but he had friends of every every group. I apologize for looking away all the time. His computer keeps turning on and off on me. It's kind of funny. Um, but the dude, he never the one thing he was missing was kind of like a really serious girlfriend. Like he never really had a real serious girlfriend. I mean, he had some acne on his face sometimes, and he was a pretty laid back kind of guy, but he wasn't aggressive. So I don't know if he just didn't want to go out there or whatever. But when he started college, he moved away, and his mom was a very nurturing type, so she took care of him when he was home and stuff. Did his laundry and everything. So not only did the guy at age 18 have to, learn how to do his own laundry, learn how to take care of his dorm room, homework, the guy was working all the time. but he got his first serious girlfriend as well. And he didn't want to disappoint anybody. So the guy gave up sleep. The one thing that your body can't give up all the way is sleep. Well, as it turns out, the guy was sleeping 1 to 2 hours a day, working all the time, going to class all the time, being with his girlfriend all the time. He just didn't want to tell people no. And in college, if you don't tell people no, you're going to die. I mean, you're going to be physically, mentally exhausted because if you live on a campus, there is always a party or something going on that you can find to do. There's always something to do. And the guy couldn't say no. He ran himself into the ground so much that he came home on one of the vacations. I don't know if it was Easter, Christmas, Thanksgiving. I forget, honestly. Um, but he took his own life at his parents' house. He shot himself in the head beside their bed so he knew that they would find him, and he left a note explaining to everybody why. He just said he couldn't keep up with life. He didn't hate anybody. He didn't hate himself. The guy just didn't see a way out. And that's sad, man. That hurt me because one thing that I learned in church, we get wrapped up in so many things that don't matter. I just want to get back to that point. There's two things in this world, black and white. There it's either good, which is God, or evil, which is Satan. There's a lot of Satan in this world. Man, we sin so much. This world has turned into a cesspool of sin. Um, we sin every day, man. Whether we're we're obsessed with like sex. A lot of people are obsessed with sex, or money, or status, greed. Um, we get sidetracked on all the shit that doesn't matter. I mean, it just flat out does not matter, and it's evil. Um, people like to joke around and say, "What would Jesus do?" If you went through your day and analyzed everything you do, every decision you make, and then think about it, and if you had half of those things that you could say, "Yeah, I think Jesus would do that," you're way above the norm, man. You're better than me. I could tell you that right now. Um, I mean, we don't act Christ-like. We don't act good, you know? There's good out there. I believe people are good. I really do. Um, I don't think this world is necessarily in a good state. I think we're abusing our planet. Um, and we just don't give a damn, like if we drive down the road and our car's a mess, we have a plastic bottle in our hand, we throw it out in the field because we think, well, what's it really hurting? It's a little plastic bottle in a field. We don't care because we don't have to deal with it anymore. That's evil. There's so much evil, man. But there's good too. And and on the topic of suicide, it's never the answer. And one thing that church taught me was that pain breeds pain and good breeds good. Um, Good acts, you don't do them to get paid back. You do it because it's the right thing to do. It makes you feel good. And honestly, if you did all good things for a while, then you'd feel pretty damn good about yourself. Um, and the response you get from people is awesome, you know? But we don't do that because it's hard to do. It's hard to be nice all the time. It's hard to do the right thing if we can just say a little white lie and get out of trouble. Or, maybe at the grocery store, don't scan that case of pop on the bottom of your cart and because there's one person to check out 8 scanning things and you could save $7 and get away with it. It's the wrong thing to do. Um, but see here, I'll use tonight as an example. My son went to a viewing. There's a lot of people there, I'm sure, that knew him and were very emotional. And in today's society, we use social media a lot. And Instagram is a very popular form of communication. It's like the teenage Facebook for us middle aged people. And, the guy that took his own life is all over the place. His pain multiplied. Whatever pain he was feeling, and I'm sure it was immense, just got spread to everyone that gave a damn about him. They are now in pain because of what he did. And there was a day a few years ago that I would consider that selfish. I don't really look at it the same anymore as selfish. I think it's sad. I think it's sad that somebody would risk not knowing if they're going to hell or heaven for eternity because this life is so bad. You're going to roll the dice on your soul, whether you're going to burn in hell forever, which is good, which is worse than here, trust me. Um, or go to a place that we can't even imagine as humans. To take a chance on that is astronomical to me. But the good is that tragedy brings people together. And all those people that knew this kid got to see each other tonight that may not see each other all the time. They got to reminisce about the good times. Um, my son made a comment on his video that the halls were quieter today. Somebody dies for whatever reason. Um, we react, you know, it affects us because there is no tomorrow. It's over. I mean, there is no, you do sports, you lose, there's always a chance you can play that team again next year. There's no next year. There's not even a tomorrow. There's not even another chance to say anything. And people beat themselves up all the time. I didn't hug them goodbye. I didn't tell them I love them. Now they're gone forever. That's why I always like to stress to people, like, always hug people goodbye, always tell them goodbye, always let them know how you feel, because you don't know when it's going to end, man. I sat beside a dude that seemed to be in good health a year ago, cracking jokes, being silly as hell, and within a week, the dude was fighting for his own life and passed away 2 weeks later. You don't know. We we just don't know. Um, but I think us as humans have a need to make things better. And I think when tragedy happens, we bond together. I saw it at 9/11 when this country was, I mean, dead quiet. I went to the mall, there was barely anybody there that when it was normally packed. People were scared to even go outside. But everybody as a whole was nicer to each other because tragedy had happened. I think we just need to focus on being better people, being there for each other, and suicide's a complicated thing. It's, in my opinion, it's never the answer. It multiplies pain, but goodness can be multiplied as well. And I think we need to focus on that. I think that's all I have to say about that. I am very excited for this weekend. Um, it's been a while since I've had two Thanksgivings to go to that I actually looked forward to. I've got both my kids for both of the Thanksgivings, which is awesome. Um, and I get my two fake kids, as I call them, for both of them as well. So, really looking forward to the ultimate game. Really looking forward to spending time with family this weekend. And Caleb and I get some alone time Thursday night as well with Raw if she feels like partying, or the two of us will just hang out and talk. because we need to do that. So, you know, shout out to Caleb Blind Sandwich. Love you, man. Um, you changed my life forever. I mean, the biggest single thing in my life that has ever changed me was you, and you changed me for the better. Um, I can't thank you enough for just being you, man. And I don't want to make myself cry or anything because this will be on YouTube forever, but I love you, man. I'm here for you anytime you need me. Um, I'm gonna wrap up this video and upload it real fast, and then just chill for a little bit. And I think that's all I have to say. If anybody else watches this, apologize for the somber mood a little bit, but I just wanted to get a lot of things off my chest. Um, but it will be a fun weekend. I'm happy. I'm optimistic. I believe God has many guardian angels watching over me. I mean, my life is insanely blessed, way more than I deserve. Um, with my two awesome kids, my two awesome fake kids, if you want to call them that, my awesome girlfriend, my awesome family, the friends that have stuck by me through thick and thin that are true friends that are so hard to find nowadays. I would rather have one or two true, real friends than 100 fake friends, and that's what I have right now. Um, and I used to go the other way. I used to have 100 fake friends. I don't do that anymore. But so I want to wrap this up. Big shout out to my son. Um, I know you're in pain right now. It gets better, man. I know you got a good head on your shoulders, and I can tell you're turning your school around and stuff. And I'm very proud of you for that. Uh, let's party our asses off this weekend, man. Let's be thankful for everything that we have because we have a lot. Signing off. Head, rule of the world. Thanks for watching.